Welcome back. Glad to see you again. Last week we developed a definition of what a Christian is based on the word itself. Our definition was a follower of and who is in the form of or resembles the king sent by God to rescue the Jews. And that was based on the first prophecy in the Jewish scriptures about a promised Messiah. This week we are going to look at more prophecies about this Messiah that the Jews were looking for. Who am I? And why do I care? I'm Rod Nogler, and I'm Chris. Jewish scriptures are full of prophecies. Some are fairly short-term, such as predicting a famine or battle, and others are longer-term. Interestingly, Jewish prophecies are not the same as Western people think of prophecies. Often they are many layered. That means that a prophecy can refer to an immediate event as well as a future event. They are like foreshadows. Some lists of prophecies about the coming Messiah list over 400 prophecies, but we're only going to look at 20 fairly blatant prophecies that should be easily understood no matter what your background. Prophecy number 1. We started last week in Genesis, and will continue along in that book. Once the people had multiplied from Adam and Eve, God chose an individual and narrowed the focus of the promise of the Messiah onto him. In Genesis 12, verses 1 to 4, we read, Now the Lord said unto Abram, Get thee out of thy country, and from thy kindred, and from thy father's house, and unto the land that I will show thee. And I will make of thee a great nation, and I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. And I will bless them that bless thee, and curse him that curses thee, and in thee shall all families of the earth be blessed. That's the important part. So Abraham departed, as the Lord had spoken unto him, and Lot went with him, and Abraham was 75 years old when he departed out of Haran. Prophecy number 2. Abraham had 2 children, Ishmael and Isaac. God chose Isaac as the line to produce the Messiah. In Genesis 17:9 he says, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him. Prophecy number 3. Then from Isaac's 2 children, Jacob and Esau, God again narrowed the focus onto Jacob. Numbers 24:17. And I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come out of a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy all the children of Sheth. Prophecy 4. From Jacob's 12 children, God chose Judah, narrowing the focus yet again. In Genesis 49:10, The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor a lawgiver from between his feet, until Shiloh come, and unto him shall the gathering of the people be. Prophecy 5. From several generations later, things have changed in Israel. No longer is Israel a theocracy, a nation ruled by God through a priest. Now they are a monarchy, ruled by a king who is supposed to follow God's leading, but not always. God narrows the line to the lineage of the kings of Israel through King David, in 2 Samuel 7:12 and 13. And when thy days shall be fulfilled, and thou shalt sleep with thy fathers, I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. He shall build an house for my name, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now let's change our focus to prophecies about the Messiah himself. Prophecy 6. The Messiah will be born in Bethlehem. Micah 5:2. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose going forth had been from the old, from everlasting. Prophecy 7. The Messiah will be born of a virgin. In Isaiah 7:14 we read, Therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive, and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Prophecy 8. A massacre of children would happen at the Messiah's birthplace. Jeremiah 31:15. Thus saith the Lord, A voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation, and bitter weeping. Rahel weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they were not. Prophecy 9. A messenger would prepare the way for Messiah. Isaiah 40:3-5. The voice of him that crieth in the wilderness, Prepare ye the way of the Lord, make straight in the desert a highway for our God. Every valley shall be exalted, and every mountain and hill shall be made low, and the crooked shall be made straight, and the rough places plain. And the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together, for the mouth of the Lord hath spoken it. Prophecy 10. Messiah would be rejected by his own people. In Isaiah 53:3 it says, He is despised and rejected of men, a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. And we hid, as it were, our faces from him, and he was despised, and we esteemed him not. Prophecy 11. Messiah would be portrayed. Psalm 41:9. Yea, my own familiar friend, in whom I trusted, which did eat of my bread, and hath lifted up his heel against me. Prophecy 12. Messiah's price will be used to buy a potter's field. In Zechariah 11:12 and 13, And I said unto him, If ye think good, give me my price, and if not, forbear. So they weighed for my price 30 pieces of silver. And the Lord said unto me, Cast it unto the potter, a goodly price that I was prized at of them. And I took the 30 pieces of silver, and cast them to the potter in the house of the Lord. Prophecy 13. Messiah would be silent before his accusers. Isaiah 53:7. He was oppressed, and he was afflicted, yet he opened not his mouth. He is brought as a lamb to the slaughter, and as a sheep before her shearers is dumb, so he opened not his mouth. Prophecy 14. Messiah will be spat upon and struck. Isaiah 50:6. I gave my back to the smiters, and my cheeks to them that plucked off the hair. I hid not my face from shame and spitting. Prophecy 15. Messiah would be tortured in ways that are very reminiscent of crucifixion. Psalm 22:12 to 18. Many bulls have compassed me, strong bulls of Bashan have beset me round. They gaped upon me with their mouths, as a ravening and roaring lion. I am poured out like water, and all my bones are out of joint. My heart is like wax, it is melted in the midst of my bowels. My strength is dried up like a potsherd, and my tongue cleaveth to my jaws. And thou hast brought me into the dust of death. For dogs have compassed me, the assembly of the wicked have enclosed me. They pierced my hands and my feet. I may tell all my bones, they look and stare upon me. They part my garments among them, and cast lots upon my vesture. Prophecy 16. Messiah would be forsaken by God. Psalm 22:1 says, my God, why hast thou forsaken me? Why art thou so far from helping me, and from the words of my roaring? Prophecy 17. Soldiers would pierce Messiah's side. In Zechariah 12:10 it says, And I will pour upon the house of David, and upon the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the spirit of grace and supplication. And they shall look upon me whom they have pierced, and they shall mourn for him, as one mourns for his only son, and shall be in bitterness for him, as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. Prophecy 18. Messiah would be buried with the rich. Isaiah 53:9. And he made his grave with the wicked, and with the rich in his death, because he had done no violence, neither was any deceit in his mouth. Prophecy 19. Messiah would resurrect from the dead. Psalm 16:10 says, For thou wilt not leave my soul in hell, neither wilt thou suffer thine Holy One to see corruption. Prophecy 20. Messiah will be seated at God's right hand. Psalm 68:18. Thou hast ascended on high, thou hast led captivity captive, thou hast received gifts from men, yea, for the rebellious also, that the Lord God might dwell among them. So there you go. 20 prophecies about the Messiah that are fairly distinct. There are many others, like I said, some count over 400. However, the chances of any one person randomly hitting even these 20 is astronomical. I'm sure that many of you have recognized either the details or some of the scriptures and know that they are often used to describe the person of Jesus, and you might expect that I'm going to use those to support the case for Jesus. But first, what we need to do is what we're going to do next week. We're going to look at the New Testament of the Christian Bible and see why Christians believe it is not only a religious text, but a reliable history text. Who am I, and why is this important to me? I'm Rod Nogley, and I'm a Christian.
Hey, he's got bacon and yogurt drinks.
We're here to record the show, not to raid his fridge.